YouTube, if you haven't seen, there's a brand new update to Idle Heroes this week. FTA has been transformed. The free team up arena now has a completely new system, where earlier on, we were all given the opportunity to vote on an arena buff for our particular division. The one that is in my division is Position 6 hero, gains some extra HP and attack. Fairly inconsequential, but there you go. That's a pretty cool one that people went for. And the rewards have changed. And it's the first thing I want to draw your attention to. You'll notice now the free team up arena is offering glory coins. And this is huge for multiple reasons. The main thing I want to draw your attention to here is the top 1,000 players are going to get 3,000 glory coins or higher, and a decent amount of gems on top of that, which is nice. But the most important point of this is those glory coins. So regardless of whether you're able to win these fancy avatars or not, the key point of this is to pick up a decent number of coins. The reason that's good is because the arena store, which is available here, has been transformed. You might see the standard normal page, which gets you access to pretty crappy hero shards and profit orbs. But also, guys, if you go to the next page, you'll notice there's timers on some other rewards. Now, these timers are important. Not quite sure why they've put it on heroic summon scrolls, because you technically can buy as many of these as you physically have coins for. Maybe a good idea if you need help completing heroic summon events, as they are some of the best ones available to you. However, cores, these also, I believe, have unlimited purchasing power. Probably wouldn't go for this, to be honest, as these aren't tied to any big events. Not yet, anyway. But let me draw your attention across to these. Radiant Soul Crystals. These are insane, and you can buy 3 of these a week for 3,000 of these. So make sure you are fighting FTA. Make sure you're trying your darned bestest with your 3 buddies that join your team to get into the top 1,000 of teams. That's 3,000 players in that division, which should be easy enough. There's enough divisions. There's plenty of bots in there. You can get yourself 3,000 just from free team up arena. And every week, that is going to be 3 additional Radiant Soul Crystals, which are free Awakens. Now, that could get you, on average, 50 contract story gems for each individual Awaken. That's 150 additional contract story gems every single week. That is 600 a month available to you just for playing the game. That is huge, especially for free-to-play players, because you guys need contract story gems to complete events more than anyone, because that is your key route to making progress. If you haven't seen the contract story gem account, I've showcased time and time again how far a free-to-play account can get if you have access to contract story gems. DH Games are making that easier for you by giving you 150 contract story gems for free through these free Awakens every single week. On top of that, if you've got spare stuff, there's access to treasure coupons, which could be pretty good, and also Pages of Destiny. And bearing in mind, there's Pages of Destiny events that exist. So if you're picking up, let's say, 6,000 of these coins a week because you're doing stuff like Interdimensional Arena, maybe you've got some other places you can fight and get more of these coins, you can walk away with some really, really good stuff. But prioritize the Awakens if you can, because these are crucial to making progress in big events. Trial of the Champion is a key area you do get rewards, absolutely. So that's probably the other place you're going to be picking up. So make sure you're pushing in Trial of the Champions. Not to mention the Trial of the Champions itself gives you access to free Awakens, which is also absolutely fantastic. The reason I'm stressing these 2 areas of the game to you is because normally when we're recommending to players, the last, I think, I'd go far as saying since 2021, we have said in Idle Heroes that PvP is not important for free-to-play players. That's not true anymore. PvP is extremely important because it's giving you access to these rewards. Just partaking in it and getting to that top 1,000 of teams is going to make such a difference for your ability to make progress in events. And Bendyman has mentioned their smurfing. If you want to make sure that you have a good win chance, keep your level below certain thresholds. My level, I'm keeping at level 177. I'm not actually claiming from campaign here. I'm avoiding claiming campaign resources because I want to stay below level 180. Because if I go over that, I have to compete with everybody who's stronger than level 180. If I stay below that, I can then compete in the Trial of the Champions against people that are a lower level, which is very, very good. Now, if we go take a look at the free team-up arena, you'll see there's another way that you can smurf this if you wanted, by keeping your account low. There's different divisions that you're facing. There's divisions just for people with 10 stars, enables, imprints, awakens, and a destiny division. Now, here's the issue with the destiny division. You have to own at least one hero whose destiny transition reaches Nirvana. Yeah, you don't want to reach that point. That's pretty horrid. So, as long as you do not own a hero who has reached Nirvana, you should be okay. But here, read this next one, the Origin division. Own at least one hero with maxed leveled Tree of Origin and skill sublimation. If you never fully max a hero to 120 and give them full subs, you will never ever be in the Origin division. Which means, technically, provided you never fully level 120 max a hero and fully sublime them, which means they're legal to have destiny, you're able to stay in the imprint division and fight a lot of weaker teams. Now, Renville has said, but the Glory Challenge, great question. Well, if you take a look at the Glory Challenge itself, you can be quite smart, because the Glory Challenge requires you to get to level 120. At no point does this say you need to fully sublime the hero. If you look at the sublimation area, at no point does it mean that you need the heroes that you fully sublime to be level 120. So provided you never simultaneously fully sublime and level 120 a hero ever on your account, you can stay out of that upper division, which gives you much better PvP matchups in the long term. Now, eventually you will need to do that so that you can get yourself a Destiny hero. But this is even more of a reason to not rush a Destiny hero on your account. I actually say to a lot of people, you want to have an established team of Tree of Origin 5 with good sublimation. They only need to be level 100 in the tree. They do not need to be level 120. You want to have 5 heroes at Tree 5 and maybe a Tree of Origin 1 Betty, or maybe all 6 heroes at Tree of Origin 5 before considering pushing up to that Destiny slot. And that gives you good matchups in free team-up arena, which is pretty cool. That's assuming that is correct. Bendy's right, it could track them 2 separately and then punish you anyway, but hey, that's kind of sucks. But anyway, that's some stuff to consider to keep you in a lower division. Hopefully that works. We'll update you if it doesn't, but assume it does for now. Anyway, here's some of the cool stuff. You can actually run heroes on your team that you haven't leveled up. It will scale up your heroes to match the division you're in. So take a look at the defensive record here. My Ignis, this is just a 5-star Ignis, is... Oh, it might even just be a 10-star. Either way, this Ignis copy, magically, Tree of Origin 5. These Rogans, Tree of Origin 5. Annabelle, she's 5-star. Tree of Origin 5, leveled up to scale so that we have a team. Also, loads of benefits that would normally make a team unkillable. Stuff like the Treasure Train, the Grimoire, all of that stuff does not affect the team's stats. The only way it would is if it has a free team-up exclusive bonus. Maybe it gives 3% damage reduction or something like that. You can find loads of that kind of stuff in the Treasure Train. But other than that, there's no effect. Right, Star Souls, don't affect it. All these things, done. So speed does matter, which is really nice because houses don't affect this. And speed was always the issue in player versus player content. You could just scale yourself up massively and you would get screwed. But now, my friends, you can actually have some pretty stonky fights. And it should make for some really, really fun times. And you can see, because speed matters, we're actually running double Rogan teams. We're having a great time. We're killing some people. We're getting pretty far. And we're rank 145. Now, when it comes to battling people, you swap ranks with the team that you fight. So SCEP over here, if we fought them and we won, we would become rank 126. Which is pretty good. And Rebel saying Awakens make a speed difference. They do, but if you've got decent speed Awakens, you should be okay, hopefully. But yeah, we've got some other teams here which we could go ahead and slap. So I'm gonna go, let's look at this team here. This team with Russian letters for their name. So we'll go ahead and fight these guys. And now we can check their heroes. So we know there's Wukong here at the start. It probably would be smart to ban them. Now, what we can do is we can tap more heroes to reveal what they have. Probably just going to tap some of the first ones to see if we can find some other big, powerful heroes. That's a Gagi. Okay. This one here. That's a Halora. Okay. I'm worried that this guy in the middle is he's kind of running bad heroes. The Gagi doesn't scare me too much, so let's check the third team. They might have like a Betty hiding here. Okay, no, that's a Melissa. So now we move on to the next step. This is going to be the banning stage. So what we want to do, we definitely want to ban this Wukong. So Bendy suggested that because they have a Destiny Gagi here, we don't know if they have access to other Destiny heroes. As we can't see Destinies on the other teams, we'll actually put our worst team against Team 2 and put our best teams against Team 1 and Team 3. Oh, just because they might have access to Wukong and Betty and we don't know? Yeah. That's actually quite a good idea. I like that plan. That could be pretty fun. So, they're clearly buffing someone, and we don't know where that someone is. So, we potentially are banning their strongest heroes by doing this. Good idea. Good idea. Alright, so let's move on to the next stage. And it's going to be the battle stage. So now, we get to put our weakest team against their people. Let's look here. What have we got? How strong are we? The Blood Tie Queen Orania account is our weakest, so we're going to put that here on number 2. Bendy's got himself Aspen, that's an A tier. I feel comfortable putting that in the bottom. And I'm here at the top. I've got some good crowd control here. Do I bring my Betty in? I think I do. The crowd control is pretty good. Are they going to come in when our heroes die? I think bringing the Betty in is smart anyway. So I'm going to switch that for one of our Rogans. And then probably Melissa, because we saw the Wukong, so he might have Betty as well. So because we banned the Wu, Bendy's saying that's going to be better for him. Okay, I suppose because I've got Melissa, I can remove more CC. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, because I've got my own Wukong to bring. So let's put Bendy at the top, with the changes we've made there. I think bringing in Halora in place of one of the Melissas is fine, because we got rid of one of those heroes. I think Ignis feeding into the Betty is good. My Ignis feeding into Wukong is good. That looks pretty good. Let's watch these fights. Let's see how these play out. We're doing a lot of overthinking here, but this is kind of how you have to approach this new free team up arena. Because it's good to think, right? This guy's got Geista, and he's got, whoa, a lot of heroes with, oh dear, with X upgrades. Okay, gonna be interesting to see how this one plays out. We've got a Bendy Man's A-tier Aspen here. Oh, yes! Good boy, look at that. And we get the holy Alakita. Come on, you're gonna need to hit hard here, buddy. Oh, you killed the Alakita. Is she gonna kill you with death passives? Is the Geista gonna kill you? Oh, a Bendy will! No! Kill him! Kill him! Kill the flipping Geista! No! Melissa comes back! Yes! Oh! What a fight! That was terrifying! Aspen! What a Chad! Dude, that was a Destiny Alakita and a Destiny Natalie. Oh boy, well done, dude. Well done. His Aspen clutched that. That was pretty fantastic. Right, let's go to the next one. Whew, that was a terrifying fight. Right, we've got the Orania here on this team. Let's see how the Orania is going to do. We've got Eos here. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting little fight. The enemy's team is going to be blasting out against us. The crowd control from your Betty coming out there. There, Melissa removing it's not too good. I think we're going to lose this one. Orania's nice, but I don't think she's going to be too nice. Oh, hang on! That damage was massive! Yo! We got so much good stuff coming out here. I honestly underestimate the Urania. And you're right, we might win because there's no crowd control. Oh, no, they stunned the Urania. That's bad. Oh, but you do kill. Look at that spread amount of damage there. That guy's team was... Oh, that was a nothing burger team. Yeah, Destiny Gaggy, Destiny Alamak. Not bringing much to the table. We've won. And we didn't even have to see the third fight. That was a solid victory. So, yeah. Eos did what? Energy steal a bit? Yeah, some damage came out. That was cute. The steel energy. I mean, it was good. It was a good fight. I'm not hating that, man. That was... We won. We're now rank 135. So, yeah. A lot of cool teams out here that you're going to be fighting against. Just be careful. Try and think strategically. And if you fight a lot of teams that are similar, you maybe recognize certain teams. And you'll be able to see where they put their Wukongs, their Bettys. They're the scariest heroes. That's why now we recommend for earlier players to build your own Wukong and Betty to try and get some crowd control, to put out some pressure. It's definitely something to think about if you want to have a good time here in the free-to-jump arena. Because Grimoire and train stats don't affect this too much, it should make it accessible for pretty much any player, and especially if you avoid upgrading your heroes too far, you're going to find yourself in a great position where you can compete in those lower divisions without upgrading a hero to have max tree and max sublimation, and therefore just fight an imprint division against everybody else, and that should be pretty cool. So, yeah, good luck to everybody who's taking part in this. Hopefully you have a pretty good time. And you can, if you want to, buy more attacks here. It's only 500 gems to do so, but you don't have to. And it is always better, if you can, to attack at the end of Free Team Up Arena, because there's no point climbing and climbing and climbing just to lose to someone and them swap ranks with you. So you want to fight at the end to claw tooth and nail as high as you possibly can. And then when the timer ends, hopefully you lock in the highest position you can get to when that countdown is getting lower and lower. So you don't need to attack yet, but try and attack at the end. And try team up with people who have similarly powerful teams. Or if you're really lucky, team up with 2 people who are way stronger than you. And just be the guy who gets thrown in the middle. But it is sometimes useful to have a good balance of guys. So you can see here, we've all... when it comes to these 3 accounts, got access to Destinies in some way, shape, or form. Bendyman has his Urania, which we'll bring in if we need the extra burst damage. This team has the A-tier Aspen, and my team has that big fat B-tier Vulcan, alongside the Wukong, and the Natalie, and the Betty, which we can bring in as well if they start trying to ban stuff. And you'll see, actually, we've been quite clever, because if they ban the Wukong, our Betty will come in and replace him, which is really nice. It kind of covers for any shenanigans they could be up to. So there you go, guys. That is how we're approaching this one. And we're having a great time. Hopefully you guys too. Let us know the strategies you're bringing in the comment section below and what fun you're having in Free Team Up Arena. And if you can, try and get to that top 1,000 position for the 3,000 glory coins so that you, my friends, can have access, thanks to this brand new store, to 3 free Awakens every week to get you more contract story gems. Another thing worth mentioning, if you want to have some more fun on your account, is Aspen Dungeon now has levels beyond 400. So if you've already reached the peak of Aspen Dungeon and got into level 400, you can now go as far as 600. So worth it if you guys want to spin some more loops in the Aspen Dungeon, get more progress, and potentially access some more things that are going to get you rewards, which is good. I know people are now actually still struggling for promotion stones, even late game players like Renville, for example. Recently built a ton of heroes to Void 4, needed loads of 10-star food to do that, and then ended up actually in a position where he ran out of promotion stones. So I guess getting higher in Aspen Dungeon can sometimes help with that. And yeah, good luck everybody in the arena. Let me know how you're doing, and if you want some little tips, Wukong and Betty are really, really good heroes. Crowd control is super duper great. So best of luck to everybody when it comes to competing in arena. And you are going to have a hard time against Betty and Wukong, so ban them if you can, and bring your own if you want to win. We'll see you next time, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, have a great week, and happy idling.